So the stream started with me showing a light because I didn't have the camera faced around. Anyway, welcome once again to another Game Master Dave's live show. Here I am in Schenectady, New York, with a convention for my union. Hey, Bill. Nice to see you. So I'm sitting in a hotel room, not my normal place that I am at. But that's great. So I'm super happy to bring another game to you. So I am Game Master Dave. So let's level up. All right. So I've got a Game of Thrones card game ready for you. But before that, I got a chance to play some Mariposas and some Castles of Mad King Ludwig last weekend, as well as some Sushi Go. Had too much fun. And I am looking forward to, hey, Ginger. I am looking forward to this coming weekend. I am throwing down some advanced civilizations, so that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that. We were just talking about oh yes, where am I? My wife asks. I am in Schenectady. Hopefully, I said that right. New York, and I am in a hotel room without Ginger. My wife is back in our hometown right now. So I was with a whole bunch of people today, my union brothers and sisters, and they were talking about a fair amount about Game of Thrones. I brought up some board games just to see if you're here with the dancing guys. What? What's going on over there, honey? Wait a minute. I'm canceling this stream and I'm calling you. Just kidding. So I just got off the phone with you, actually. So I know there's no dancing guys there. There might be some dancing stuffed animals hanging out in the house, maybe. Or maybe some crickets. There might be dancing crickets in the house, or ants. We do have some ants sometimes. But anyway, some of the conversations today was talking about Game of Thrones. I brought up some board games, not thinking that I would ever play them with anybody here, but I happen to have the Game of Thrones Hand of the King here, so I'm going to talk about that a little bit in just 1 minute. What is this? Starting announcements before I forget. Yes, Ginger brings up the Bethpage Library. So we will be at the Bethpage Library October 23 and 24. Wait a minute. Are we at the Bethpage Library this Friday for what's going on this Friday, Ginger? Isn't it board game night? It's live board game night on Friday night, isn't it? At the Bethpage Library? Oh my gosh. Yes, Octocon, October 23, 24. The schedule for that should be coming up on my website, Game Master Games, any day now. Okay, not this Friday because of the holiday, right? It's going to be the following Friday. I forgot about that. So the schedule is going to come up on my Facebook page and on my Game Master Games Facebook page and on my website, Game Master Games. For the October 23-24 Octocon. That should be coming up this week. I'm going to start all the advertising for that just momentarily. So I'm super excited for that. Bill, who's watching us right now, has a game. He's running a couple of games. And I've just come join us. We've got games in person at the Bethpage Library. We're doing a hybrid event. And we also have games online, so you can play on BGA and you can play on Zoom. So there's lots of cool things to do. Okay, on October 15th is D&D for adults. Is that at the library, Ginger? In person, right? I'm assuming it's in person. So check that out if you want to play some D&D as well. That'd be great. Cool. Let's talk about Game of Thrones Hand of the King. First thing, are you a Game of Thrones fan? And second thing is, have you played Hand of the King? There's the game box. And this is a very quick card game. It's on Zoom for the last time. Thanks, Ginger. Cool. And I don't know, this Wi-Fi is really holding up. I didn't know at the Wi-Fi at the hotel if it'd be good, but here it is. So there's the Game of Thrones Hand of the King. It is rated 6.7. Ginger and I like to say anything over 6.5 is a good game. So, this isn't that much over, but it's still a good game. There you go. Here's the little glib on it. Use VARs to gain the most allies in your bid to become the new Hand of the King. It's for 2 to 4 players, 15 to 30 minutes, ages 14 plus. And there's the designer and the artist and the publisher as well. So here it is. Here's what the table looks like. I got a little glare off the light, but that's okay. Thanks, Ginger, for the link. So you have all of these cards, which are all the characters in the game, and you make a 6x6 grid. But really the most important one you wanted to pay attention to is Vars, the spider. So he's basically going to manipulate all of these cards, all of these personalities, and you want to try to win the game. How do you win the game? You win the game by gaining the most house tokens. Okay, so there's 7 house tokens. So if at the end of the game I have 4 of them and you have 3, then basically I win because I've got 4 of them. Sayville Library, right? November 6th, a month from today. Tons going on. Ginger's writing here. For lots of people in every age. No pre-registration and board games galore. Ginger and I will be there running board games on Saturday, November 6th. Looking forward to it. Okay, so how do you get these houses? And you'll also see some personality cards over here, too. We've got Shay and Khal Drogo and Bronn and Hodor and some other names that you will recognize. So how do you get that? All right, so the first player, this is very chess-like, this game, in the sense that you need to think a couple moves ahead, because Vars is going to go collect some personalities to get influence, but then the next player is going to go. So you don't want to move Vars to a position to where it's going to be hugely beneficial to the next player. How do we do that in the game? Well, if it's my turn, let's say, Vars is going to move. Let's say I see here, I can move horizontally or vertically. Yes, I remember. And I can stop at any part of the grid. And wherever I stop, I essentially pick up that personality card. Now, here is where some of the strategies come into the game. If there are 2 personality cards from the same house adjacent to each other, like you'll see here, I got 2 Starks, right? So you can see I got 2 Starks. I could decide to go with Vars this way. And if I go this way and land on Robb Stark over here, I collect Robb Stark. Vars has given enough influence to Robb Stark to win him over to the side, okay? But since I passed over another Stark, I also get to collect Arya. So now I've got both of those. And since I have at least 1 Stark card and somebody else doesn't have any Stark cards, I collect the Stark house token. So bang, I'm on my way to winning. See? That easy. But now it's the next player's turn. Okay, so what they might do is they may want to go to this top row and collect a Lannister token, right? But look, maybe that's not a good move, because then when I go again, let's say we're playing 2 players, I could collect 2 Targaryens, or I could collect 2 more Starks, see? Because I can go horizontally. So you got to think ahead. So maybe that's not the best bet for Vars to go there. Maybe Vars can go here and collect this Targaryen, all right? And then the other player could go down there. But you see, each one of this row is a different house. So here we go. Let me do that. So this next player goes here and collects a Targaryen, okay? And they get the Targaryen token. Now it's back to my turn. So I could go down here, or I could go this way. Now watch what happens. I'm going to do something interesting here. I'm going to go over here, and I'm basically going to collect another Targaryen. Now, I have 1 Targaryen now, and they have 1 Targaryen. You don't have to have more Targaryens than the opponent. You have to have equal numbers. So now I steal this house token and bring it over to me. So now I've got 2, and my opponent's only got 1. But that was actually a very big mistake, because I didn't think ahead, because now Vars can go down here, pass over this Stark, pass over this Greyjoy, and collect, pass over Balon Greyjoy, pass over Theon Greyjoy, and land on Aeron Greyjoy. That's 3 Greyjoys. So now my opponent can grab 3 Greyjoys, right, like that. All right, and then they get the Greyjoy token, okay? So now it's going to be much harder for me to collect more Greyjoys, basically. Now the game ends when I can't move Vars to any spot to collect a personality. So you can choose when you want to end the game as well. All right, so that is basically the moving. That's how the game is played. So you're basically moving back and forth, collecting a personality, and then collecting a house token, or grabbing one from your opponent if you collect the same number of them. Now you'll notice that these houses have numbers in the bottom. Okay? And what does that mean? So there's an additional strategy added in here that right now there's only 3 Tyrell cards. So I'm just going to sort of move here. So if I was moving here to this Tyrell and taking it, And that was the last Tyrell that was available in the game. So the other Tyrells have been taken. By the way, you can play this up to 4 players. It does say best for 2. And I take this Tyrell marker. Let's say I take the actually, I don't even have to take the Tyrell marker. Let's say this was the last Tyrell that was taken. All 3 have been taken now. Maybe my other opponent has the other 2. If I take the last one, I get to choose a personality card to put into play. Okay? So look, these things change the game. So Sandor Clegane, right? Kill any character in King's Landing. All right? So that means anyone that's out here. What does Hodor do? Take Bran Stark from King's Landing or any play area. So if I choose Hodor, I get to steal Bran Stark from another player. All right, let's see. What does Khal Drogo say? Take Daenerys Targaryen from King's Landing or any play area, then kill Viserys Targaryen in King's Landing or any play area. So depending on which one you choose, they can really change how the game is played. And then let's say if I chose Khal Drogo, a new card would come out. There's replacement cards. So now Loras Tyrell comes out. So anytime the last house card is taken from a house off the playing area, then whoever that player is gets to choose one of these personality cards, and they break the game. So there's one of the reasons why this game is good, and I'm not saying it's like super fantastic, but I'm a big Game of Thrones fan, and the reasons why this game is really good, is pretty good, is because you have a unique game. I've never played a game like this before. You have this strange strategy and race to get these house tokens. You have the strategy of collecting the last card so that you can get a personality, which breaks the game, which might win you. I have seen this game. I've only played it 4 or 5 times, but I've seen this game almost come down to the last card chosen. The last card chosen lets you play a personality, would let you do an effect, which lets you grab a house token, and bang, you win the game. So it's been a lot of fun seeing those interplays with with what's available, with the strategies that are available, and with the players. You know, there's almost always like an upset in this game. So it is sort of like Game of Thrones, where there's always just something crazy that happens at the end. If you play your cards right, pun intended, or really if you play your personalities right. If you've got the right personality, pun intended. So there you go. That's Game of Thrones Hand of the King. I do hope you get a chance to try it out. I will have it at the local conventions on Long Island, so please ask me to play if you're interested, or I'll teach you and your friends how to play. Again, you can play up to 4 players. I do recommend 2 is the best. Awesomeness! Thanks so much for joining us once again, for another Game Master Games live show. I didn't know that the Wi-Fi would hold out so well. Hopefully you can still see me and it didn't cut out and I don't know about it. Thanks, Bill, for joining us. Thanks, Ginger, as well. So Ginger says Game of Thrones Hand of the King is pretty fast and fun. Thanks, honey. Awesome. I hope you have a great night. And until we meet, give yourself 100 experience points for watching. And until we meet again across the internet, keep your, what are we keeping dry? Wi-Fi worked well? Great. Thanks, Bill. And Ginger, too. What are we keeping dry, Bill, for Game of Thrones? Keep your... what are the swords? I forgot what the metal the swords are made out of. Keep last D&D on Zoom with the library next Friday. Thank you, Ginger, for the reminder. And Octocon, October 23 and 24. Until we meet again across the internet, keep your swords dry. Keep your house cards ready. And your... what are we keeping strong? Your Stark family. Strong! Have a great night, everybody. Thank you so much. Take care.